The track Too Tough to Tame in Darlington, South Carolina is the home of stock number 26 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series. As we're 25 in the book races in the books, and 9 more are left to go on the season, counting this one. But we are here today for the running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. 56 laps of action on this racetrack here today. And let's get this lineup for today's running of the event. On the pole, it is Jessica Shelton, who's won this race twice before, as a matter of fact. She's in the RB's 4 today, and her pole speed 183 miles per hour. She's won 3 times this season so far, one of 2 drivers this season who's won 3 times this year. Alongside of her is Cole Deaver in the Oreo Chevrolet, car number 3. Row 2 is the other 3-time winner and points leader, Kyle Matthews, NNSCRA Chevrolet, car number 24. He'll be alongside Charles Sanford in car 29. By the way, those 3, Shelton, Sanford, and Matthews, all have in-car cameras in today's event. Sanford's win, by the way, this season came in the first race at Pocono, and he also won the night race at Bristol as well, so he's one of the 2-time winners. Row number 3 has the Michigan winner, Johnny Gardner, in 22, and number 2, Dylan Young, the winner at New Hampshire this season. Going to row number 4, we'll have car 43, Joshua Collard, in the winner this season at Sonoma, the Auto Value Bumper to Bumper Toyota, and Chris Dallerton, 2-time winner this season so far. He won at Texas and the second trip to Talladega. Going to the 5th row, we'll have Benjamin Miles going for the Darlington sweep this season. He won on this very same track for his only win this season. In the Dodge Challenger 500, he'll be alongside car 89, Quentin Moore, in the Racing for Jesus Chevrolet. Next row down has Benny Watson in car 99, the winner this season at Rockingham, the Aaron Stream Machine Toyota, and Keith Batson in car 32, the White Rain Ford. Next row down has car 33, Joshua Osborne in the Ream Chevrolet, and he won this season at Indianapolis in the Brickyard 400. He'll be alongside car 38, Nathan Hudson in the Great Clips Toyota. Next row down has Matt McIntyre in 37 and Gene Sanford in 21, winner this season at the first race at Talladega. Next row down has the winner at Richmond, Levi McIntyre in 60, the Aflac Ford, and Carter Friesen in car 36, the Stanley Tools Pontiac. Next row down has Rob Evans in car 8, the Bass Pro Shops Trucker Boats Chevrolet, and Jay Jefferson in car 88, the Navy Chevrolet, the winner this season at California. Next row down has the winner this season at... Actually, he has not won yet this season, my mistake. He's in the here. It's Mike Becker in car 45, the Sprint PCS Chevrolet. And number 15, Eli Bright in the Oakwood Home Chevrolet. Next row down has William Brock in car 4, a Geico Ford. He won this season at Charlotte in the 600. He'll be alongside car 34, Trey Wright in the Gould's Pump Chevrolet. Next row down, Sky Commons in car 62, the South Point Hotel and Casino Chevy. And the Track Gear Ford number 9 of Cat Batson. Next row down has number 18, Ashlyn Boyd, and number 39, Zachary Fitzwater, 2-time winner season so far. Fitzwater's wins came at the day race at Bristol. He also won at Dover. Next row down has Henry Sanford in 57 and number 00, Aiden Shepard. Next row down after that will be car 87, Dion Moon, and the Nemco Motorsports Belson Mobility Chevy, and Elijah Gordon in the Duraflame Dodge, car 66. Next row down has number 10, Simon Bloomfield, and alongside of him, number 63, Diego Yepes. Next row down after that will be Ryan Brommer in number 5, the GMAC Chevy, and number 1, Bobby Frazier in the Yellow Transportation Dodge. Next row down has number 12, Mitchell Collins, and number 74, James Henry. Then after that will be car 7, Zach Winkle in the Geico Chevy, and way back in the field, Jesse Turner in the Castrol GTX Chevy car 27. His wins this season came in the second Pocono event, as well as the first race at Martinsville. And starting shotgun field would be the man who shocked them all in the Pepsi 400, winning that event, Vince Almarego in the number 44 Shell Pontiac. So, 56 laps of action here today in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington. A lot of racing, by the way, on this racetrack here, obviously. So we'll see what happens here. Darlington's known to reach up and grab cars and put them in the wall, obviously, especially off turn number 2. That can happen over there in that area, so that can be a trouble spot here today at Darlington.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
That's the way to get a race going. And by the way, it's ladies and gentlemen, by the way, because there's about 3 ladies in the field. And one of them actually starts from the pole. And this time, unlike the last time she started from the pole at Darlington, she was able to get her car fired up. So, yeah, if you remember the first race at Darlington, Shelton was on the pole for that event. And her car, unfortunately, would not fire and got credited with a did not start. But this time, her car was able to crank. This time. So we'll be set to go here. Shelton currently sits right now, I think, 4th in the points coming into this event. She had bad luck at the race at Indianapolis and knocked her down a couple of spots, but nonetheless, no, it was at Michigan where she got knocked down a couple of spots where she had problems in that event. Cole Deaver, on the other hand, he's yet to win a race this season so far. Came in the Winston Open, or in the Winston All-Stars, I should say, it's Charlotte. There. But you compare to guys like Sanford, who has 2 wins, Matthews, who has 3 wins, Shelton has 3 wins, Gardner's got 1, and so does Dylan Young, and also a lot of the guys behind them all have a win this season, except for Quentin Moore in the 89. He also has not yet won this season. Neither has Keith Batson. So you got some hungry drivers in the mix of winners this season so far, who are starting within the top 12 in this race. As the field comes off turn number 4, looking for a green flag, and the Mountain Dew Southern 500 for season 22 is underway. Off the second turn, Jessica Shelton has the early advantage here as she has won this race. This is really the only big race she's won the Castrol GTX Cup Series. She's won the Southern 500 twice before. So several fields off the wall come off turn number 4. 2 and 4 off 2 and 4 is usually the trouble spots here at Darlington, because sometimes it'll cause a crash on a track like this. Matthews looked to the inside off turn number 2, tried to take the lead. No dice at the moment as they go through the 3rd and 4th turns now. Turns 3 and 4 are noticeably shorter than 1 and 2. As Deaver now goes off the wall as he's dropping back spots, as is Keith Batson. So it's Shelton, Matthews, Sanford, Johnny Gardner, Joshua Collard, and Benjamin Miles, the top 6 at the moment. Then Benny Watson 7th, Joshua Osborne 8th, 9th is Chris Dalton, and 10th right now is Cole Deaver, along with Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young, and Quentin Moore. On board Charles Sanford's cars, they come off turn number 2, following behind Matthews and Shelton. This Darlington track, very fast, and it is nighttime conditions, by the way, on this track as well. In fact, the last night race on the tour will be at Charlotte for the Mellow Yellow 500. The next race on the tour will be a night race, the last one on the short track at Richmond for the Chevrolet Camaro 400. And here comes Matthews off turn number 2, tried to make a pass on Shelton, nothing doing for him at the moment. And now you ride with Kyle Matthews' car as he's running right behind Shelton's car. These two have been going toe-to-toe all season long. Matthews to the inside again. Shelton tried to throw the block, but too late doing it that time. And Matthews is going to go to the lead, and you were riding with him when it happened. And Shelton's going to get freight train on the outside as if she was hung out to dry at Talladega. So some good action early on and among that pack of cars here. As you now see Matt McIntyre get off the wall. Dylan Young goes by, as is Quentin Moore, Levi McIntyre. All those 3 go to the inside lane and pass. And here comes Hudson, Gene Sanford, and Carter Friesen all in this mix as well, as they get past Matt McIntyre, Keith Batson, and Cole Deaver. Cole dropping back a bunch since the start of the race. We started outside pole, and now he's dropped back to, let's see, he was clocked at this time by. Gets now passed by Mike Becker as they come off the 4th turn. Deaver that time by clocked in 19th position. And make that 21st now as William Brock and Ashlyn Boyd both go by as well. So Cole hopes to regroup and make its way back up to the field here. There's still plenty of racing left, though, as we'll completed only 8 laps, so we'll have 40. So we'll have 40. No. Yeah. Yeah, 8 laps this time. It's going to complete this time, so we'll have 48 to go. So. And meantime, Kyle Mendes has also slipped back, and Charles Sanford's going to take the top spot, and he's got Johnny Gardner and Joshua Collard to deal with now as they come off as the top 3 now. And here comes Gardner to the low side of the track. He's going to look for the late now. Gardner to win the season at Michigan, and sends Sanford off the wall, scraping off turn number 2, and Gardner's going to bring Joshua Collard with him. Front bumper cam from Charles Sanford's car. Looking right at the back end of Joshua Collard and Johnny Gardner both. That's the top 2. Sanford right now runs in 3rd. Off the second turn they come, and whoa, Gardner gets off the wall a little bit, and now Joshua Collard goes to the lead. And you got lap traffic just up ahead. That is, I think, Rob Evans up ahead. No, that's Joshua Osborne ahead. Osborne. He had problems the last race in the Tour at Bristol. Had a header failure, had an engine failure in that race at Bristol. And now it appears that more bad luck has struck the 33 team as something has gone terribly awry with that car. Osborne was 6th in the points coming into Bristol, and now he's going to drop back even more. He was down to 7th in the points the last race after Bristol. So, since his win at the Brickyard 400, Osborne's had nothing but bad luck. And now Benjamin Miles gets off the wall, come off turn number 2, and Benny Watson's going to take over 2nd. This is the best Benny has run in quite a while. Probably since his win at the Rockingham. That's probably his only. In Rockingham, he is leader, by the way, in the rookie points this season. Talking about Benny Watson in 99, which should come as no surprise because Watson, along with Benjamin Miles and a few others, are veterans of the NNSCRA, mainly in either Pizza Hut X or Hershey's Cup. And now you got Collard moving up the back of Osborne. It's the battle of the Joshuas, but not for the position because Osborne's about to get lapped here. And meantime, clawing their way back up to the field, the 24 Kyle Matthews and the 17 of Shelton. 2 of the drivers that have led earlier on in today's event here as they've already now completed. This time by 16 laps, so we'll have now 40 laps remaining. On board Jessica Shelton's car. Closing in on Benny Watson for 2nd place as Collard has gotten around Osborne, so Osborne now is a lap down in 41st position. Shelton rides in 3rd right now. She knows this track at Darlington. As I said, she's won the Southern 500 twice before. She's yet to win the first race at Darlington, but she has won. But this is one of the Crown Jewel events, and this is the only Crown Jewel race that Shelton has won in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Believe it or not, is yet to get a Brickyard win, a 600 win, a Daytona 500 win, and I think that's about the only ones that she's yet to get here. And she's also yet to get an All-Star race as well. She may get all of those in the last 2 seasons we'll be running this series, but we'll see. Shelton getting a challenge now from Johnny Gardner. Osborne off the wall. Remember, again, the 33 car is not on the lead lap. He's in 41st. And here comes Gardner to the low side of Shelton's car, as they're all trying to catch Joshua Collard. And now Shelton falls victim to the wall of turn number 2 as Gardner and Watson both go by. And here comes Charles Sanford in 29, and he looks low on the track. He's got the challenge from the 2 of Dylan Young. Young, who dominated the race at New Hampshire National Speedway in the Bass Pro Shops 300, led all 45 laps in that event. And Osborne again off the wall of turn number 2. I think it's passed by Quentin Moore in the Morgan Shepherd car. So the top 6 is broken away. 7th place is trying to close, so that's Quentin Moore again in that green Chevrolet. And here comes Gene Semmer up to lap Joshua Osborne now in the 33 car, and here she's 8th. Carter Friesen's 9th, and Nathan Hudson right now is in 10th as they all gotten by Benjamin Miles, who's been struggling the last few laps. And you see that, and we'll be able to see from this view right there, but the side of that 14 car right there is caved in. That's the passenger side of the 14 has been caved in. There it is right there. But he's able to draft off the 38 car of Nathan Hudson as they go by Friesen and Osborne. That's letting Kyle Matthews in the mix. Matthews right now in 12th with Matt McIntyre 13th. Then Dallerton's 14th, and several cars strewn all over the place here. Dallerton's, who says 14th. 15th is Deaver. And they are pulling away from several cars here. You saw Keith Batson barely in frame. He's 16th. And look who's moving up to the field. Jesse Turner. We said he started 40th in this event here today. Well, he's up to 18th right now in that 27 Bruco Motorsports entry to the Castrol GTX car. That's the 1999 Casey Atwood car he's driving. Looking low on the track on William Brogus for 17th place. So Turner has already gained 23 spots since the very start of the race. And Turner right now sits, I think, 3rd in the points coming into Darlington. So he's looking pretty good right now. And the yellow flag is flying for the first time here today. And it's Henry Sanford in 57 that is spun. On the field, better watch out right there off that 4th turn. And lead change here, as you saw right there in the back of the pack. Benny in the background right there. Benny Watson's going to lead into the start-finish line. Jay Jefferson's crashed. Simon Bloomfield's involved. There's Trey Wright. There's the pace car right there, in case anybody wants to know what that looks like. So Henry Sanford, who's had nothing but bad luck this season, except for a couple of top 10 finishes, and both in remote and stuff. Sanford was running 31st. He was on the outside of the 7 car of Zach Winkle. He avoids the wall right there, and then tries to clear the 88 car of Jay Jefferson, and then all of a sudden he gets turned by the 88 car. Sanford goes up the track right there into the wall. Simon Bloomfield gets into him. Meanwhile, Jefferson in the 88 car, he takes the nose off the 34 car of Trey Wright. And whoa! What driving there by Bobby Frazier in the 1 car. He and Mitchell Collins both. And so is instead of Diego Yepes. Those 3 missed the 88 car by inches, but I bet you their hearts were up to their throats too after all that too. That was craziness right there. But good driving by Frazier, Collins, and Yepes. Good driving by those 3 cars, and so. All those cars involved in that crash able to get going. And no problems with the several cars are Charles Sanford, Quentin Moore. Several cars gonna was in the pits, I think. Yeah, Samper, I think, is going to make a pit. Yeah, Samper made a pit stop, as did Carter Friesen, Jessica Shelton, and several other cars. What are they doing here? I don't know, but... So yeah, it looks to me like several cars made pit stops here at under yellow. So resetting the field for you here. Benny Watson's your leader of the race. Second place is Joshua Collard. Johnny Gardner's third. Fourth is Dylan Young. Fifth right now is Gene Sanford. Then it's Benjamin Miles sixth. Matt McIntyre seventh. Eighth is Nathan Hudson. Ninth, Kyle Matthews. And 10th is Chris Dalton. Joshua Osborne, again to the inside, not on the lead lap, and he gets Joshua Collard a little bit of a tap for some reason. And Simon Bloomfield's going to go inside as well. He also is not on the lead lap. Cole Devers in 11th. 12th is Keith Badson. 13th is Jesse Turner. 14th is William Brock. Levi McIntyre 15th. 16th right now is Mike Becker. 17th is Zachary Fitzwater. 18th is Rob Evans. 19th is Sky Commons. 20th right now is Beyond Moon. My perhaps is skipping all over the place. I don't know what the heck's going on here. It's almost like the game's trying to crash on me. But the field's about to come off turn number 4 here. As Benny Watson will lead him down here. Average speed so far 147.894. Sure that average will drop a little bit as they take the green. On lap number 31 here at Darlington, we'll have 26 laps to go in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Again, some of the lead lap cars, including Charles Sanford and Jessica Shelton, and several others, have all made pit stops, and as did Quentin Moore and Carter Friesen and Ashlyn Boyd. As the green flag flies, we're back underway. Average speed after that caution, 137.86 miles per hour. And the top 3 here, Benny Watson, Joshua Collard, and Johnny Gardner, all looking for their second victories of the season. I would say Osborne as well, but this is, again, Osborne is not on the lead lap. He's in 40th position. And the actually, my mistake. I said all the cars that were in the crash actually got started again. Well, Jay Jefferson didn't. He's out of the race in 41st position. And Watson hits off the wall, gets off the wall, and whoa! Watson and Osborne playing a little Donnie and Kale from Daytona '79 up there, and whoa, there's 3 off turn number 4. And they said 2 wide you can't do in the first place. And no, Johnny Gardner dips the apron and he almost spun it. Almost spun it, and up against Osborne as well. And that was very close for the 22 car. So the 22 and 99 with a couple of close calls in the last couple of laps. But that was plenty close. And that's let Collard pull away in the 43 car. So the front 3 is still Collard, Gardner, and Watson. Then Jean Sanford's out at the 4th position. It's the best she's run since her win at Talladega in the Winston 500. Matt McIntyre's at the 5th position. 6th right now is Nathan Hudson. Then Benjamin Miles 7th. Kyle Matthews 8th. 9th is Keith Badson. And Jesse Turner from 40th up to 10th in the 27 car. Checking on all the cars that were running on the lead that made pit stops here as they're trying to as they're trying to dice their way through the field here. That's Sanford, Moore, Shelton, and Friesen all trying to get by Simon Bloomfield as Bloomfield hung some of that field up. $20 laps to go here at Darlington. Trying to get by the 74 car of James Henry and the 62 of Simon Bloomfield. The 62 car of Sky Commons. The choo-choo train forms the line to the inside. And it isn't a drafting train, of course, like we saw at Daytona and Talladega, but nonetheless, so they have those 4 fresh tires working to their advantage. You fire on 4 new tires on those things while everybody else is on old tires. It's like you're Superman out there. And up to the start-finish line there, Quentin Moore that time by clocked in 23rd. Sanford clocked in 20. Is now in 21st at the moment. So they are moving their way up to the field nicely here. Meantime, back up front, they have gotten by the lap car of Joshua Osborne, and now Benny Watson's trapped behind Henry Sanford in the 57. Gene Sanford in 21 and the 37 of Matt McIntyre hoping to stay out from behind, get out from behind the 57 car, which they will do, and now their line forms to the inside, and they go by the Mountain Dew car of Henry Sanford as they come off the 4th corner. In that moment for Henry, he realizes one of the cars that passed him was his sister. But Sister Jean having a very strong car right now. As I said, she is now up to the 3rd position now, but still far behind the front 2, which is Joshua Collard and Johnny Gardner. Those two looks for the moment are going to be settling up for themselves. And both these drivers looking for their 2nd victory of the season. Collard won the season at Sonoma, and Gardner won 2 races back at Michigan. The 2nd race at Michigan in the Champion Spark Plug 400, and he was the fast car in the late stages of that event, and that helped them go on to victory. And they go by Trey Wright. Collard gives them a little bit of a hello on that, or an hello on that one. My British accent's not the best, but anyway. Anyhow, as I said, I mentioned the British accent was the jolly old Brit out in front here with Collard. As he and Hudson are the only 2 cars from the Jolly UK. And Collard, I don't think, has won at Darlington before, and Sanford's now lost 3rd position to the man who started 40th, Jesse Turner, and he has gained now 37 spots here at Darlington. Amazing. And that 27 car, he's still got plenty of time left, though. At that, he might get up to the top 2 cars, because that car is awfully fast. Turner's won twice this season. He won, as I said, the 1st race at Martinsville. He dominated that event, and then he won the 2nd race at Pocono. And as he held off a snarling field for a tough win in that event. And whoa, Miles slams the wall off turn number 2. That wall reaches out and grabs you like Braun Strowman in the WWE. So Sanford's now dropped to 4th. Kyle Matthews now looking for 4th on Gene Sanford as they come off the 2nd turn. You're on board Kyle Matthews' car. Matthews in 4th. What a dominant season this man has had so far. I know I say this, I know I mention all this every race, but But already with like I said, a man with an over 300-point lead coming into this event at Darlington, and an average finish of 7th place. I mean, of the season. I mean, that is just no other word can describe all this, but just total domination. It's a good thing Matthews changed his mind the last second and went with a 24 car instead of the 57 as he originally thought of running. And that 24 car that Matthews is driving all season and driving here is running a lot like Jeff Gordon in its prime. This time, but coming to the start finish line, it'll be a completion of 49 laps, so we'll be down to 7 to go. Joshua Collard trying to hold them all off here at the Southern 500. Lap cars up ahead. It's Henry Sanford and Simon Bloomfield, two of the cars that crashed earlier on. And Collard hopes he doesn't get stuck behind the 57 car, or else Gardner, who's trying to close up, will catch him. And Gardner looks like he is closing up. Let's see what the margin is this time by. Went from 48 hundredths of a second to 46 hundredths of a second now, so we're down to 6 laps to go. And well, Collard caught behind Henry Sanford off turn number 2. Here comes Gardner to the low side of the track, and he and Collard touch, and Gardner goes to the lead. Those two rub sheet metal on the backstretch right there, almost like Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton in the 1997 Southern 500, almost coming to the white flag. But now Gardner's now caught behind the lap car Simon Bloomfield, and he's going to get by him, and Collard's going to go to the low side now, and here he comes to the low side. Collard said, "I had the lead, I want it back here, Johnny," and whoa, my gosh. And the yellow flag flies for the second time. And this happening with 4 laps remaining. Oh, it's Gene Sanford, 66, and Kyle Matthews, the points leader! Kyle Matthews, the points leader, has crashed! Second caution flag flying with, I think it was 4 laps to go with Matthews and Sanford. That's Gene Sanford, that is. Let's take a look as to what happened here through turns 1 and 2. Matthews got up to the high side. Charles Sanford, who was making his way through the field nicely, off turn number 2. Sanford goes by him. That's Charles Sanford, that is. Tries to throw the block on Carter Friesen and spins out. And takes Carter with him as they go through the first and second turns. Benjamin Miles gets involved. Here comes Gene Sanford. Bam! And poor Gene Sanford, she had a great run going on too. And look at those points go right by Matthews. Oh my goodness. And it's a good thing for him. He's got an over 300-point lead at this point, because if this were a close battle for the championship, he might be in danger of losing the lead in the points. And here comes 22, Sky Cummins. I think he's barely going to miss him. Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't miss him. But a disastrous ending to the Southern 500 for Kyle Matthews, and let's ride on board with him on this one. He was running 4th when this all happened. It's a wonder why he didn't go back down on the racetrack there and just absolutely just let the rest of the field just plow right into him. And we are not going to get this race restarted here at Darlington, so that's going to mean Johnny Gardner is going to collect his second victory of the season as he wins the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Joshua Cart's going to end up finishing second, and Jesse Turner from 40th to 3rd in the final running order. Talk about a strong car he had here, and the unfortunate chagrin for Kyle Matthews. Look who finished 4th and 6th in the field. Yep. Charles Stammer moved all the way back up to 4th place in the final running order. Fitzwater ends up 5th. Jessica Shelton's going to end up finishing 6th. So that's bad news right there for Matthews, as is the Chris Darlington finishing the race as well. And mainly also Jesse Turner, because Turner is also up there in the points. And that's going to be those three. And the points harvest those three are going to have after this race, and all within the last 5 laps of the race as well, too. So Carter Friesen ends up finishing 7th. 8th will go to Ashlyn Boyd. A great day for the 18 team. 9th will go to Zach Winkle. Another good day for that team. So the struggling 7 team gets a good top 10 finish. Cole Beaver comes on 10th. Dylan Young 11th. 12th, Benjamin Miles. Chris Darlington 13th. Keith Batson 14th. Benny Watson 15th. 16th, Nathan Hudson. 17th will go to Matt McIntyre. Levi McIntyre 18th, 19th Mitchell Collins, 20th William Brock, 21st Mike Becker, 22nd Rob Evans, 23rd Cat Batson, 24th will go to Dion Moon, 25th Eli Bright, 26th Elijah Gordon, 27th is Vince Almarego, 28th James Henry, 29th Trey Wright, 29th actually will be Ryan Brommer, 30th Aiden Shepard, 31st Diego Yepes, and 32nd will be Bobby Frazier. The yellow and white flags have both waved, so we are going to... So field coming around at an agonizingly slow 45 miles an hour. The rest of the finishing order for you here. Trey Wright will end up finishing 33rd in this race here. I think Jean Samper's going to get passed by the last 3 cars in this bunch, so she likely will end up finishing 37th. So in this case, it would be Bloomfield 34th, 35th will go to Henry Sanford, 36th will go to Joshua Osborne, and then Gene Samper will come on 37th, 38th Sky Cummins, and Kyle Matthews will end up finishing 39th because of that crash with 4 laps to go in the race. And also bad, and Quentin Moore, who's also up there, he also had a problem. He had a camshaft failure. That's the device in the engine that measures your RPMs. And unfortunately, Quentin over-revved the cam and broke it, unfortunately. And that knocked him out of the race in 40th. And then 41st will go to Jay Jefferson. But where it all counts up front, though, the number 22 Discount Tires Dodge gets his biggest win of the year. Johnny Gardner wins the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington under yellow. And it's a shame the race finished under yellow, too, because it looked like it was going to be a good battle between he and Collar down to the wire in this race. I mean, that was a shame that had to happen for those two, for that finish. And sure enough, yes, and those last 3 cars did knock Gene Samper down to 37th, so there you go. So 26 races are in the books, and 8 races are left to go, as the remainder of the season will be Next race on the tour after this will be at Richmond International Raceway. Then after Richmond will be Dover. After Dover will be Martinsville. After Martinsville will be North Wilkesboro. And actually after Dover will be Charlotte in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. I mean the Mellow Yellow 500 for that race at Charlotte. No, Martinsville will be after Dover. Then after Martinsville will be North Wilkesboro. After North Wilkesboro, we'll be heading to Charlotte for the Mellow Yellow 500. Then after Charlotte will be Rockingham. Then after for the AC Delco 400. Then after Rockingham will be Phoenix for the Subway 500. And then the final rest of the season, the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Ford EcoBoost 400. That's the remaining 8 races on the season. 8 races on the season. Richmond will be next on the schedule for the Chevrolet Camaro 400. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA South Dakota desires for his channel. And check out the cavalcade of offline series we have in the NNSCRA, including the Coors Light Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, Hershey's Cup Series, Last of Us Light Series, the Skittle Super Speedway Series, and the brand new Duracell Cup Series. Be sure to check those series out, as well as Michael Norman's Budweiser All Pro Series, also available on this channel as well. And of course, to subscribe and to keep up on the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, be sure to subscribe to Thrash Maniac 99 to keep up on that series and be part of it. Some of that stuff offline series are under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you will not regret checking those races out neither. So that will do it. That's the story from Darlington, South Carolina. Congratulations again to Johnny Gardner, the winner of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. For now, this is James Calls from the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you at Richmond.